One of my favorite things about the Camera Raw editor, in addition to being non-destructive, is that it's very easy to quickly see before and after of the adjustments that I might be making. I've got a preview checkbox here, but there is a little bit of a trick that I want to make sure you know up right away, because it might catch you later on. You might be scratching your head going, what's going on here? So preview is turned on by default. So whenever you make some choices in the panels over here, you're seeing the immediate effect of those choices. Let's go ahead and make some adjustments here just so we can kind of see what I'm talking about. I'm going to bring the exposure down a little bit just to darken the image overall. And I'll go ahead and do a recovery to bring out some of the highlight details. We'll open up the shadows with fill light a little bit. We'll set a dark point using the black slider and maybe increase the overall brightness and increase the contrast. And again, I'm just kind of eyeballing it as I move these sliders around. Maybe do a clarity to do a mid-tone contrast adjustment. Okay, so I've made quite a few changes here, and now I want to see before and after. I can either take my mouse and click on the preview checkbox to turn that on or off, but it's much easier just to press the letter P on my keyboard. So there's before and there's after. Now, if I want to preview the before and after of an individual slider, instead of everything that's been done in this panel, I just want to see before and after of one particular slider, then I wouldn't use the preview option. I would use the undo technique. So let's say I want to see the difference between a really high amount of clarity, so take that over to 93, or a really low amount of clarity. And I'll take it down to a negative direction. So now if I do Command or Control Z, it will toggle back and forth between those two values. So you can preview individual slider amounts as well, or the overall effect of everything in that panel by using the preview or the P key as well. Now the preview functionality is per panel. So if I go over to hue saturation, let's say, and I click on the convert to grayscale button, now when I press the letter P, it is only previewing the before and after of the convert to grayscale. You can see I'm still seeing all the choices I made in that previous basic panel. So preview is isolated and local only to the current panel that you're in. If you want to see the overall preview of everything you've done to this particular image in this editing session, compared to the way it started when you first opened, then you need to go to one of the panels on the end. That would be the presets panel. I'm going to go ahead and click on the presets panel. Now when I press the letter P, I get an entire before preview of what it's looked like before I even entered in the dialog here. And then I press P again, and it's now showing me the final result. So there is kind of a nuance there. Now there is kind of a keyboard shortcut that you can use to jump back and forth between a panel that gives you the full preview and any of the other panels. So Command Option Control Alt on Windows. If I press 1, that takes me back to the basic panel. Command Option or Control Alt 9 takes me to the presets panel. And as you might have guessed, these are actually numbered. So basic starts out with number 1, and then tone curve is number 2, detail is number 3. So I can do Command Option or Control Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to go back and forth between those panels. Not anything you have to worry about right now. The one I want you to memorize is Command Option or Control Alt 1 and 9, because that's where you would want to jump back and forth to be able to do your global preview. So again, I did Command Option or Control Alt 9 to get to the presets panel. I pressed the letter P. There's my global before and after of everything I've done in this particular session. Just typing P to toggle back and forth. And then if I want to get back to the basic panel, Command Option or Control Alt 1. So there you have it, just a couple different tips on how to access and leverage all the non-destructive editing control that Camera Raw gives you, and able to preview either everything that you've done in a particular panel, preview before and after of individual sliders, or preview before and after of everything you've done by jumping over to that presets panel and then toggling your preview on and off.